Everybody, we are live. Gonzaga goes down to Arkansas. Just happened. If you're here on Team Replay, you already know it. If you're here live, it just happened maybe a minute ago. Gonzaga goes down to the number 4 Arkansas. Remember when they were big with Bill Clinton was the president, Nolan Richardson was the head coach. Seems like old times right there. That was interesting. I had Zogs winning it. I did. I liked UCLA. They were my dark horse. I got UCLA versus Gonzaga in that Final Four. Now my pick would be UCLA, I guess, and I almost picked them. I wish I would have. But anyway, Zogs going home. This tournament has not disappointing. We've got a couple topics tonight. We've got a couple of some news today. Let's see. The Blue Jays and the Rockies made a trade. My buddy just sent it to me, and it was a couple hours ago or earlier today. I learned about it. We got Dave Roberts news. I'm a big Dodgers fan, so we talk a lot of Dodgers stuff on this channel. We're going to talk a little football, too. We were just over on Inside the Huddle, over on Pete McDevitt's channel. We watch that show we do that show every Thursday night. If you don't know about it yet, please check it out. Over on Pete McDevitt's channel. He's my good friend, and he's going live any minute, too. I think in about a half hour or so for the next game. I'll probably try to send you guys over to that. But let's talk about it. So Urban Meyer, NFL, we thought he was a bad coach. It's actually worse than we even knew. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about the Grichuk Rockies Blue Jays trade at some point here, but we're going to kick it off with my boy, Dave Roberts. First, let's hi to people who are here live in the chat. Magic Mouse Radio's here. Nico the Greco's here. Miguel in the house. Glad to see you, buddy. I know nothing about college hoops, but the Zags are the king of the choke. You know, it's hard. There's only one team that's going to win the last game. Zags had a great year, but yeah, that's a big one, right? You know, if you're a number 1 seed, you know, it's kind of rough when you're the number 1 seed because if you don't make it to the Final Four, you're considered that you failed that year. It's kind of rough, but that's what we love about, you know, March Madness. All right, let's get to this. Let's talk about Dave Roberts. I'm going to share the screen for you guys so you guys can follow along if you like. It's all over the place. LA Times had a good article about this. I think I'm pulling up the one from CBS, but you can find it everywhere. Dave Roberts. So I was real excited when Dave Roberts became the Dodgers manager. I'm a huge Dodgers fan, and I actually got to play against Dave Roberts. He was a year behind me in high school. He went to Rancho Buena Vista. They didn't even have seniors his junior year. Dave Roberts was a junior in high school, the whole high school was juniors. They didn't have seniors. They were a brand new high school. And we were the last team to beat them, and we were good. He was the quarterback on the team. He was so good, and then he was elite in baseball. So I've been a fan, right? When he stole the base for Boston, probably the biggest stolen base in the playoffs since Jackie Robinson sold home, right? Big fan of his because of the locality and growing up in the same area and playing against him in high school. But as a manager, you know, I'm happy because he wins. He drives me a little crazy the way he does stuff, you know, as a Dodgers fan, but as a fan, I'm a fan of Dave Roberts because of, well, I just told you. This is a big deal though, and I love it. I love the bravado. I love the, you know, we win. Not how I look at Dave Roberts at all, so it made me feel good about it. Let's get caught up in chat. Surfer Girl in the house. How are you, Surfer Girl? I'm so glad to see you. Nico says, does the MLB test managers for drugs? Been listening to Bill. Sanudo in the house. You're not late. Has the Dodgers won the World Series yet? Pretty much. Yes. I love you. Let's get to it. Let's get to the article here. We'll read a little bit and we'll talk about it. Again, if you're just getting here, the main topic tonight is Dave Roberts. We're going to talk about Urban Meyer, how bad it was really in Jacksonville. I really like what Jacksonville's been doing. We didn't talk about it at all on NFL or Inside the Huddle over on Pete's show, but we'll talk about it a little bit tonight. And then we'll probably talk about some moves and stuff in MLB. All right, let's get right to this. Dave Roberts guarantees they will win the World Series, right? The whole guaranteed victory thing has probably been beaten to a bloody pulp. I blame Joe Namath. In the sports world at this point, the Joe Namath thing happened before many of us were born. I resemble that remark, but barely. Still, it always bold to make a definitive declaration in the Dodgers. Dave Roberts has just done that regarding his 2020 ball club. It's 2020. Come on. Where's the editor? It's 2022. You know, I know it's just a number, but come on. On the Dan Patrick show, should we listen? Do we care if we lose audio? Let's listen.
The Dodgers will win the World Series if
we play a full season and there is a postseason.
You guys can hear, right?
Wait.
We are winning the World Series in 2022.
Can you guys hear the audio?
So
Let me know in
where you're
chat.
going with that.
No, what
We're
do you?
winning the World Series this year. Put it on record.
You are winning the World Series.
We are winning the World
Confirm
Series.
to me in chat that you can hear it.
That's our focus. That's our goal. But to your question, we are winning the World Series if our starting staff stays healthy. I know that's vague, but I don't want to.
And then
That's my answer.
okay, but you
can dig in a little bit on that, but I think it's about our starting pitching. Just keeping our guys healthy.
The Dodgers. I
love that so much, and I agree with every word. If Bueller is Bueller, if Urias is Urias, right? That's pretty good. If Kershaw is remotely close to what he's been last year, not 2014, not MVP Kershaw. If Kershaw is remotely close to what he was last year, right? I'm not even asking about Trevor Bauer. I'm not even asking about Dustin May, who's on the 60-day DL, and Trevor Bauer is on administrative leave for the first 7 days of the playoffs or season. We don't even know what's going on yet. I'm not even counting those two. If Tony Gosselin can just be a 0.0 in WAR, just an even pitcher, how do we not win that division? The Giants are great. Of course they're great. What did they win? 109 last year? And you could argue they got better offensively. They lost Buster Posey, but I think their pitching, I think like everybody frankly thought last year, they played over their heads. And I'm sorry. I stick by that. Brandon Crawford will take a step down. He will. That pitching will take a couple steps down. Now, that Logan Webb scares me. That freaking little left-hander Logan Webb, I hate how good he is. So that scares me, but he's just one guy. I don't believe in the Giants. I didn't last year, and they proved me wrong. And I don't believe in – I just don't. I don't. Do I believe in San Diego? I absolutely do not. I will never, ever, ever think a team led by Manny freaking Machado will go anywhere. I think he is a mental midget. I think he's an insanely talented player, as talented as anybody in the major leagues. I love Manny the player. But Manny, the clubhouse, doesn't have a good track record. And now they look to him to be the leader. And Fernando Tatis is clearly not it. Eric Hosmer is clearly not it. I guess they look to Will Myers, who wanted to beat up Andy Green a couple years ago. I think there's a mess in San Diego. A lot of talent, but a mess. I worry not about the Diamondbacks. I worry not about the Rockies. Not even a little bit. I think LA wins 103, 104, and wins the division by 10 minimum. That's what I think. And Dave Roberts is right. Now, if Walker Buehler blows his elbow and Urias, just like any team, you can't assume health. But if the starting rotation is healthy, how do we not win that division? And I'm saying we, and I will always say we, my Dodgers. You know what, Bill? I need my ring. I need to wear my ring on this show. That'd be fun. 2021 Giants were a fluke. They were, right? I want to give credit. Scoreboard, baby. I am the guy back in high school, and I'm the guy that would be the guy saying scoreboard. Shut your mouth. Scoreboard. And so the Giants have scoreboard. They won the West. I think it was 109 wins. That's remarkable for a great team. I don't know. I feel like I'm being a homer when I say that I don't believe in the Giants, but I don't believe in the Giants. I don't. I doubt I'll even pick them for second. And you just heard what I think about San Diego, but we'll see. Is that beneficial statement for the Dodgers or bulletin board material? So that's a great question, Miguel. I would say to you, it's a great statement and it's beneficial. I want fire under Cody Bellinger. I want a fire under Will Smith. I want a fire under Freddie Freeman. I want a fire under all of them. I want a fire under all of them. They're rich. They've got rings. They've got all the bling. All the girlfriends and the wives are on a scale of 1 to 10, 37. They are living the life. So yeah, you got to make them want to win. And they're professionals. They're going to want to win. Don't get me wrong. But what is the manager really doing? We got the DH now, right? What is the manager's biggest job? To manage the bullpen, to manage the roster, right? I guess shifts now come into it, which I freaking hate, and to motivate the heck out of these millionaires. Dave Roberts did it. Now, are we going to piss off the Giants? No. Who cares, frankly? We going to piss off the Padres? Yes, they already hate us. I love it. But I'll be real, Miguel, and everyone else. It's my personality. I'm a 52-year-old fat guy now, okay? But I'm living in a 52-year-old fat guy's body, but my attitude is still that 17-year-old who wanted to tell you right before he scored on you. That's always been my attitude. Sorry. Truth. And it's still my attitude, and I love it. I want when you score the touchdown, I want you to hand it to the ref. I don't want a big freaking celebration. I don't want cheerleaders in the end zone, but I want to tell my opponent, you're about to have a freaking bad day. I like that Robert said 162 games are going to suck for you guys. I love it. Don't forget about Bauer outage. He will be an asset. I believe he will. Here's my problem with Trevor Bauer. It's Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts and Trevor Bauer aren't buddies. Dave Roberts has come out and said some stuff that I was not happy to hear. Dave Roberts is a little more woke than I would like him to be. Dave Roberts, I hope he embraces Trevor Bauer. I love Trevor Bauer. I do. I love the swag. I just said it. What I love about Fernando Tatis is the talent and the swag. What I love about Trevor Bauer is the same. I don't have hate for him. So I hope they embrace him. I don't know if they will. I'll talk to you later. I just got a plane ticket. Oh, yeah? I'm heading out there to get... whatever. Whether it's Trevor Bauer or Jack Bauer, I don't think they're winning. Nico the Greco, I think you're smoking what Bill's going to get, but I like the reference. I love me some Jack Bauer. That was such a good show. 24 is probably one of my top 10 favorite shows ever. You buying Blake Trinan? I like him better than Jensen at this point. Yeah, I'm buying. He's probably second or third best reliever in baseball. That's how much I buy him. They should have had him the closer last year, but he was filthy and amazing in his role last year. Yeah, I think he's the closer. I wouldn't mind them getting another closer so Trinan can be the 7th inning or 8th inning guy, but Trinan's elite. Who's better than Trinan? By the way, speaking of that, Andrew Miller, one of the great relievers of 2016, 2017. Andrew Miller changed the game. Andrew Miller changed how managers use relievers. Andrew Miller was filthy. Cleveland and then St. Louis, right? He retired today, so that was a big deal. But yes, Miguel, I am absolutely buying Blake Trinan. I love him. By the way, I love him on social media too. He's pretty political. If you're a political beast, it is what it is. But he's pretty funny. Tatis is a stud, but he can't ride a motorcycle. Exactly. I love Tatis, by the way. I love Tatis. I was surprised and disappointed how he acted a fool at the end of the year. But you never know the inside stuff, right? I've acted a fool before, and I just didn't have a million people watching me play a baseball game. So, I act a fool pretty much every day at 2, 4, 6, and 8 o'clock. So it is what it is. But I love Tatis. I love the swag. I think the Padres have a problem internally, and I think it starts and ends with Manny Machado, but it is what it is. Dodgers' weak point is the bullpen. I hope they can shore that up soon. So I don't know. I think it's definitely. So I love Trinan. I like Gratterall. Do we still have Victor Gonzalez? I think we do. I know we've got a bunch of young arms. I'm pretty sure they'll be all right. I think that it's not as elite as I would like it to be, but, it's a pretty good roster. I'm more worried about after Buehler and Urias. If we get Trevor and Clayton's healthy, we're in great shape. Dustin May comes back in 3 months, I'll be happy, but that's a big F. I like Tony Gosselin, but he hasn't done it for an extended period of time. Dodgers do have a scoreboard. They want a postseason series. I'll take that. Absolutely. Your manager should always have your back. Amen to that. Right? What do you want them? Oh, I hope everybody has a good time. No. Miguel says, love Andrew Miller. Me too. That guy threw at that fun slot, like a kind of a Dennis Eckersley slot for us old guys, but from the other side, filthy, hard, little Randy Johnson in Andrew Miller. As an Indians fan, okay, but he'll be missed. The only closer that's better than Trinan is Claser. A hater, I would say with hater. Yeah, I think I'd have to think about it. I'd have to have a list, but Hitter's the only one that I would obviously say would be above him. I can't think of anybody else who I'd put above him. You see the story today that Dombrowski is shopping Bohm? No, I did not. Really? Phillies ran a lineup looks really, really good. If you're just getting here, my name is Jeff Bates, Dole Jazz, this channel. The Zags from Gonzaga go down to the Hogs of Arkansas. It just happened right before the show went live. What a tournament. I got to be real with you. I haven't watched any college basketball this year. Hardly any. A little bit of TCU because they're the local team. A little bit of San Diego State because I'm from San Diego. Other than that, I didn't watch nothing. Didn't know who was number one. Didn't have any clue. But I'm having fun with this. This is fun, right? The tournament is fun. NCAA football, can you figure this out? Why can't we get a 16-team tournament in football? They don't play for the entire month of December anyway. Oh, but the Bulls. Screw the Bulls. They're boring. I said it. Let's get a tournament. I don't want to hear about some 13-0 team like TCU a few years ago, like a decade ago now. They go undefeated. They should have had a shot. And there's a bunch of others. I'm just thinking TCU because I live in Fort Worth. It's right down the road now. They should have. How hard is this? College baseball has a great tournament. I think Major League Baseball should go to something like college baseball does with the playoffs, but that's a whole nother show. I think NCAA football, which is already epic and can't miss football, they would own the month of December if they would do a 16-team tournament. They could even own January, right? I think they're not going to do it because of the NFL has Saturday games in December, and that's kind of an unwritten rule. But anyway, I love this tournament. Amazing. It's going to be fun to watch the rest of the way. Kirk Gibson hitting the home run off Eck in the World Series is my favorite baseball memory. Mr. Sanudo, I remember exactly where I was. 1988, I was 18 years old, sitting in Chuck Wood. I know how much would Chuck could Chuck Wood. His name was Chuck Wood. He's my best friend at the time. Same birthday as me. We were high school buddies. And in his couch, I'm in the corner. He's an A's fan. I'm a Dodgers fan. He had Eckersley on his fantasy team. It's the World Series, so it didn't matter anymore. I didn't have Gibson, but so what? I loved him. And Eckersley takes him deep. What a moment. I'll never forget it. Unbelievable moment. Sanudo, I love it. Do you have a college football team? Where'd it go? Do you have a college football team? So Nico, I'm a San Diego State fan. When I grew up in Southern California, I rooted for San Diego State because I was a San Diego guy, and I rooted for SC and UCLA just because they were on every weekend. If I had to pick one of the two teams, I would have gone with SC, but that was about the cheerleaders, not the players, and I'm not kidding. But TCU is the local team here. If I'm rooting for a college team in basketball or in football at San Diego State, I didn't go to San Diego State, but it's the local team out there. If I wore a college hat, it would be San Diego State. I do have friends in Arkansas, and they try to talk us into moving to Arkansas. And they're SEC football. But I don't for them, but they won tonight. Sitting in a tree, drinking beers, Kissing, sitting in a tree, drinking beers on Broad Street in Philly by City Hall. Is this a Rocky joke? In 1980 for the Phillies World Series parade. My best World Series memory. Is that the one where Rocky ran up the steps, but he tripped and fell? Is that the one? Trying harder. Yeah, 1980. When you're a Phillies fan, you got 1980. Jay says, a lot of good players don't play the bowl game. Do you think they will play 4 extra games? Nope. It would be watered down. I think they would play if it was the tournament. Nobody in basketball takes off the tournament. They take off the bowl game because they've already sat for 5 weeks. They take off the bowl game because the bowl games are stupid exhibition games at the end. Bowl games are old, crusty dudes making money. That's it. Bowl games have no value. A tournament would. A tournament would. You're making my point for me. The best of the best don't even play in the bowl games. There's no way they're not playing if they're in the final. There's no way they're not playing if they're in the semifinal, right? That's 4. Quarterfinals, 8. 4 weeks would be 16. They would all play. They would all play. All right, let's move on to that. So Dave Roberts making me even happier, guaranteeing it. Again, I'm not going to play the audio again, but we'll go through it. The whole guarantee thing, I love it. It was on Dan Patrick. If you missed I played the audio earlier, it'll probably get me a copyright thing, but whatever. What's great about that one is Roberts was asked to fill in the blank. The Dodgers will win the World Series if, and that's the thing that we probably should share. Dan Patrick asked Dave Roberts, the Dodgers win the World Series if. So did he really guarantee it? The if was if our pitching is healthy, right? You put him in that position, but nobody's saying that, right? I'm saying that right now. But Dan Patrick asked him, right? Now, if you're the Phillies, they say the Phillies win the World Series if and only if the Dodgers get hurt. Looking at you, Bill. What else were you going to say? Like, he was asked this question. You could hear in the beginning. Again, I played the audio. You can go back and listen to it if you want. He kind of stuttered at the beginning. Did he want to say it? But I'm proud of him. He doubles down with, we are winning the World Series, put it on record. Roberts did, however, finish the original question, adding that the Dodgers will win the World Series if his starting rotation stays healthy. We are winning the World Series if our starting staff stays healthy. He said, I know that's vague. No, it's not. But that's my answer. I think it's about our starting pitching, just keeping our guys healthy. They're currently a 5-1 favorite, according to Sportsline. There's some question marks. I'm reading through the article here. The lineup is scary, but there are concerns. I'm reading from the article. This is not me. This is the article. Will Bellinger bounce back? Yes. I think there's a chance I might pick him for MVP this year. Is Muncie's elbow healthy? Yes. That's already been proven. Well, at least at this point, right? The rotation has tons of talent. There's questions. Is Kershaw right? How will Andrew Haney do? Tyler Anderson's back or here. Haney pitched, was it today? And got roughed, or maybe it was yesterday. It was pretty ugly. I think it was 1 inning, 5 earned runs. But that doesn't mean a lot to me. Sometimes they're working on a pitch. Heck, Trevor Bauer last year and the year before would tell the guys what he's throwing. That was just to get, he's a YouTuber and he wants attention, but it's not about the ERA in spring training. That said, rather him not give up 5 earned runs. I wish Dave Roberts ran a pitching staff as well as he talks. See, that's the thing. I'm a big fan. You've been here the whole time for the show. I've said it on the show here. I'm a fan of Dave Roberts for those 2 reasons. He's my Dodgers manager. And again, I played in high school against him. So, you root for the local guys, right? But yes, I don't love some of his moves. I don't. I think they probably would have fired him already. I don't know. This is going out on a limb. He's done some things that I think are worthy of firing, but he also wins. I mean, how would you win? He lives in San Diego. If they fire him, probably ends up the manager of San Diego after taking a few years. I don't want that. So Bellinger for MVP. Sorry, Dole Whip Dad, but I think you got that plane too and got what all those others were smoking a couple years ago. Well, he won it. I was going to say he was right at the time. He won it. I'm not saying I'm making that choice. I'm saying in that lineup. So not last year, but the year before, he blasts that home run in the World Series, right? Or in the playoffs, whatever. Is that against the Braves? I don't remember. And he goes for the bash and he hurts his shoulder. And I believe it was hurt all year last year. I do. I think he's got a lot to prove. If he has the same year this year as he had last year, he's not a starter by the end of the year. But if he becomes the Bellinger that he was a couple years ago, and he's going to have protection times 10, you have to throw him strikes. I don't know. I think what they can't do, though, Dave Roberts, I'm looking at you. Dave, are you here? Hi, Dave. Remember high school? You were better than me? Jerk. Anyway, here's what Dave Roberts can't do. You can't put Bellinger at the 9 hole. Or I guess you could put him at 9. You can't put him at 8. You can't put him at 7. I want him. I guess you could hit him 9 because then you have Trey Turner behind him. He needs to have protection. They need him to have to throw. Maybe 9 I like, actually. I have to think this through. I want him to see fastballs because the guy behind him is going to. Maybe he's in. I'm changing my mind as I'm talking. Don't you? It's like I turned into everybody's wife. I'm changing my mind as I'm talking. I think that they should hit him 9 because Trey Turner is going to be the leadoff hitter, right? Or Mookie. Trey or Mookie. I would put Trey there, but it might be Mookie. Regardless, it's a stud. And then you're throwing strikes to Bellinger because Bellinger gets on first. He's stealing second. If you want him to, you don't have to. There's a lot of damage that can be done there. Where did it go? Let's see. So Sanudo thinks I'm on drugs. And, I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. Drugs have never been one of them. I mean, I am addicted to drugs, actually. Caffeine is my drug of choice. I love it. I need it. I want some more. Thank you, please. Next time I go visit my son and stop in Fort Worth, the loser buys dinner. I'm a loser, baby. What's the bet? I don't even like that song. I don't know what we bet on, but I'll probably say yes. Bill, it's easy to get me to say yes on a bet. Next time I go visit, I just read that. That makes me want to drive out to spring training in Glendale and say true things to him. Nico, I thought we were friends. Everybody, for the rest of the night, we're going to be ignoring Nico. All right. Sanudo says a hitter and a closer that loses it mentally almost never gets it back. I don't think I agree with that. I mean, there's a Steve Saxon and Rick Ankiel out there, but there's a bunch of guys. I mean, John Smoltz, how about that one? He was a little woo, and he came back Hall of Famer. I'm sure there's more. I don't know. But I hear your point. But I don't think that's the case. I think he's a pretty easygoing guy. I think he'll be fine. Maybe I'm just being a homer. Maybe this is more want than believe. We're gonna get to Urban Meyer stuff here in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Go up one to see the bet. Go up one to see the bet. I don't see. So do I sense a bet? See, there it is. So you people in internet land, you don't always see the. I don't. So I sense a side bet here between me and you for the season between the Phillies and the Dodgers. Yeah. I have a running bet with my buddy from San Diego, Dodgers Padres. Since we've made the season-long bet, I've never lost. I'm happy to take your fill in the blank also. Does Bellinger smoke weed or something? That guy always looks high. Let me see. I need a magic? Anybody have a magic 8-ball? I think signs probably point to yes on that. Let's talk about Urban Meyer. Here, let's stop sharing that. Going over to football here. Oh, I almost hit leave studio. That would have been bad. I don't know why the buttons are such a challenge for me. I don't think of myself as an idiot, but maybe I am. Urban Meyer. So he was the head coach out in Jacksonville. Yeah. Everybody knew he was doing a horrible job. He went and had a girlfriend what an idiot. What an idiot. Week 4, he doesn't take the plane home with the team, bitches and moans about the coaches, calls them all losers, then goes and hangs out with some hottie on Ohio State's campus, I believe it was. What an idiot. It's 2022, idiot. Everybody has one of these. Fool. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's like he wanted to get caught doing 12 different idiot things. Like, it gets bad. Meyer's tenure in Jacksonville was actually worse than anyone thought. I'm reading this from CBS, but it's everywhere, people. It's everywhere. I'm just going to read a little bit, and then we're going to talk about it. For most NFL coaches, it's not easy to get fired before you even finish your first year on the job, but that's exactly what happened to Urban freaking Meyer in 2021. Now, I'm going to be real. I've been a fan of his in the past. Why? It was fun. And I was a big Tebow guy in college. I just thought good things. I don't know. What do I know? I'm a big fan of elite coaches. I always have been. So I just assumed because he was having so much success, he was a good guy. Nope. I'm done with being a fan of this idiot. The former Jags coach was canned in December after compiling just a 2-11 record in the first season. That's Ryan Leaf kind of stuff. Based on the info, Coach K looking like the crypt keeper coming out for the game. Are you watching? No disrespect, but holy cow. Do you see he just walked by the cheerleaders. Do you see the ball player ran by the TCU cheerleader and popped her in the, that was rough. I don't know what's going on with that. Based on the information that has come out over the past few months, it's pretty clear that Meyer's stint in Jacksonville is basically a disaster from the start to the finish. As it turns out, his time with the Jags might have actually been worse than anyone originally thought. This is insane. From a story in The Atlantic on Monday, Meyer's 11 months in North Florida, and a lot of that picture was painted by former Jaguars receiver DJ Chark. Now, here's what I want to say about DJ Chark. A lot of people in this article unnamed. DJ put his name to it. Respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I hate it when people don't do that. Hey, you're a putz, and my name is Jeff. That's the way to handle your business, not, hey, please don't let anybody know that I'm mad at you. The way he was running the ship, it was impossible to succeed, Chark said. Am I saying his name right? It's Chark, right? I hope I am. No disrespect to Chark if I'm saying it wrong. So what exactly did Meyer do? Well, grab a chair and get comfy because you could be here a while. Again, I'm just reading from CBS.com. For one, Meyer had no idea how to make these players better by putting them in position to succeed. He didn't know who Aaron freaking Donald was. We'll get to it. I should shut up and read. He told us from day one that he was going to maximize our value, and truly, I can't tell you one player that maximized their value with the Jags. Chark can personally attest to that. The receiver broke his finger in training camp after Meyer forced him to do extra reps during a round of live contact drills. The ensuing surgery caused him to miss the entire season. Are you kidding me? Trevor Zegras. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped away a little bit. I'm sorry. missed the entire preseason. With Meyer unable to get the most out of his players, the one person it seemed to hurt the most was Trevor freaking Lawrence, who I still believe in. The top overall pick. He's the best prospect since Andrew Luck or John Elway, depending on if you think he's a better prospect than Andrew Luck. And I still believe that. Trevor's a great quarterback. He was put in a bad position. Meyer ran an operation on fear. Let's just move on. He feels like threats are what motivates. I know he would come up to us and tell us the receivers weren't good. He wasn't going to fire us. He was going to fire our coach. He would usually say that when the coach was there. Meyer once threatened to cut a guy for making a mistake in preseason. Meyer wasn't very good at coaching at the NFL level. One thing he did excel at was placing blame on others. I don't know if it's in the story or not, so I'll just say it. He told some guys that if I cut you, you won't even be able to go get one of those $15 part-time jobs. I feel like he put us in a very bad position. One notable example of this came in December when Meyer threw running back coaches Bernie Parmalee, remember him? He was good, for a debacle, including James Robinson. After the fumble in the opening quarter, Meyer called for Robinson to be benched. However, the coach then forced Robinson to go back in the game in the fourth quarter with the Jags trailing by 30. Benching a player is one thing, but forcing him to go back in for the final few plays of a blowout is misguided and at best and callous at worst. Meyer took zero responsibility for the incident. Lawrence put Meyer on blast after the game and said that Robinson is a player who needs to be playing. The incident with Robinson came just weeks after Meyer made headlines when he skipped a plane ride home, which we mentioned earlier, from a game in Cincinnati so he could go hang out with his family in Columbus, Ohio. Meyer likely did spend time with his family, but he was also caught on camera with a pretty girl who was not his wife. Former Jags coach was forced to apologize for being a putz. Meyer also routinely belittled and made fun of his players in practice. John Brown dropped a pass in practice once, and Meyer decided to make fun of him. Hey, Trevor, you got to slow it down for him. These boys from the South, their transcripts ain't right. I'm going to stop reading. That one pisses me off. These boys from the South, their transcripts ain't right. What? Are you kidding me? Later in the season, and it wasn't early in the season, it was late in the season. I'm not reading anymore because I don't want to bore you guys to death. He says something about, hey, this 99 guy, I hear he's going to be a problem for us. He was talking about Aaron freaking Donald, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive line ever, almost assuredly the best defensive lineman currently. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're deep into the season. You don't know who Aaron Donald is? This guy just took the paycheck. And they wasted almost the full year of Trevor Lawrence. Now, I will say this. I really like their new coach, Doug Peterson. He did a great job with Carson Wentz in Philly. He's won a Super Bowl. I love Trevor Lawrence. I think he's I'll say it again, he's the widely considered, and I agree, the greatest quarterback draft prospect since Andrew Luck, who outscored basically John freaking Elway on some scouts' numbers. Most people didn't have the same kind of scouting then, but John Elway, right? Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence, they're all on the same prospect level. Elite, can't miss. Now, does it mean he'll miss or not? It might not work out, but if it doesn't work out, it's going to be because he's in Jacksonville almost assuredly. I really like the moves they made. We didn't talk about it tonight on Inside the Huddle. I expected we would. Regardless, they're reloading. Now, am I saying they're a playoff team this year? No. Doug Peterson, I believe in. Always hated that he was in Philly. I hate Philly. I hate Philly. I hate Philly. I hate the Eagles. I hate Philly. But Doug Peterson, I love. And he's now their coach. He is their coach, right? Pretty sure he's their coach. Peterson's great if he can keep his foot out of his mouth. Okay, he said some stuff, but who among it? I go live a lot. I bet you can get a couple dumb things out of my mouth pretty much every night. I'm not saying they're going to be a good team this year. I am saying with Peterson and Lawrence there and all the moves they made this year, by next year, not this coming up season, but then the year after that, I think they'll be at least in contention for a playoff team. I like what they're doing. I think I look at them a lot like Miami, not because they're in the same state. Airball from Duke. If you're watching the game just started. Duke, Texas Tech 0-0. Pretty sure I got Tech in this one of my bracket. Regardless, I think that the Jags are close. And I think Peterson is the perfect guy for Trevor Lawrence. And I'm behind in chat. Let's see. Lawrence is the second prospect to come out of his own college in the last 10 years. Give me Deshaun Watson. Well, I mean, at this point, yes. When all is said and done and the careers are over, give me Trevor. It's early, but I like Deshaun Watson as a quarterback. I like him a lot. How do I say this? If I were a betting man, and I am, I would go with, I think Trevor will have the better career. Now, some of that has already played out. Sean hadn't won nothing yet, but I think he's an elite quarterback. I think Lawrence is every bit Deshaun Watson, if not better. If Lawrence doesn't take a big step forward this year, he will be looked at as a bust. I mean, maybe. If he shows Ryan Leafness this year, maybe. I mean, nobody's going to expect him to be Joe Montana this year, right? They're still not a good team. So there you go. So this Urban Meyer stuff. I mean, the big Urban Meyer stuff, the biggest thing for me are the two things. He didn't know who Aaron Donald was. He belittled his players. He belittled his coaches. Oh, a couple of things. I said too. I really hated that he told his guys, if I cut you, you're not going to get a $15 an hour part-time job. That pissed me off. But the biggest one is yelling at Trevor. You got to be careful about these dummies from the South. That pisses me off. It pisses me off. I find it insanely disrespectful. And I guess, there's leadership styles that work and there's leadership styles that don't work. And I think that maybe in college, being the top, might work sometimes. I mean, there's been some elite, famous coaches that were despised. I mean, I think of Bobby Knight. You either loved him or you hate him. Who's the Woody Hayes back in the day? A lot of guys that were pretty stoic, pretty angry old men. And I think Urban Meyer was going for that look. And I don't think it works. I certainly don't think it works today. That crack about the kids in the South pisses me off. There's more news. Let's go to some Major League Baseball news. We had an interesting trade. My buddy Bill sent it over to me. And we're going to talk about it a little bit. I like both players in this trade, actually. Blue Jays and Rockies. I like. Hit the wrong thing. Oh, and we're going to talk about the Yankees and the Mets too, and one more thing. So we're going to have one more story after this. Stick around for Yankees and Mets news. And also Tommy Pham signs. And they're Cincinnati. There you go, with the Reds. That's an interesting pickup. I've always liked Tommy Pham. I don't think he's a pennant winner, but I think top of his game is an all-star. Bottom of his game, he's a solid starting outfielder. Blue Jays and Rockies trade Romeo Tapia, huge prospect. I like him, talented kid, but they're shipping him out. He's going to Toronto. Randall Grichuk, who I've also always liked, moving to Colorado. If I'm Randall, I'm happy. I'm in Denver now. I'm at Mile High. I get to bash. But Tapia also going to be happy, right? He's leaving Colorado. He's going to an unbelievable lineup. I don't know if he's going to start over there, but boy, if he gets some at-bats, he's going to have some protection. So you got to love that. I like that trade. Two teams have swapped outfielders just 2 weeks before opening day. I see it as a win-win, and I don't usually think most trades are going to be win-wins, but I like that one a lot. Let's talk about this. I'll call this the Nets are going to the playoffs rule. Unvaccinated Yankees and Mets are now going to be able to play home games in New York City. Why? Because Mayor Adams is changing the rules. Why? I'll tell you why. Because the Nets are about to go to the playoffs. Kyrie Irving hasn't played a home game all year. He just made fun of the entirety of the system when he was sitting. Kyrie, if you don't know the story, Kyrie Irving about a week and a half ago, sat in the front row in New York of his own team's game. He couldn't play in the game, but he sat in the front row watching the game in New York, right? In New York. He even went into the halftime locker room, right? Unmasked, but he wasn't allowed to play in the game. I think that was the end of it. It might have been going away. Anyway, 10-2 Texas Tech over Duke, by the way, blowing Coach K away for the end of his career by Coach K. Anyway, so I think that was probably, it was going to end anyway. But by the time the Nets got to the playoffs and the Mets and the Yankees had home games, I'm not surprised about this one all. Let's take it to this article. I'm not going to share on the screen because, you know, why, but I'll read a little bit. New York City Mayor Adams made the announcement at a press conference today. Mayor Adams announced New York City's private sector COVID-19, blah, 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 blah. As it pertains to MLB, the reversal will allow unvaccinated Yankees and Mets players to play home games in this upcoming season. It was interesting news also. I'd left that out earlier. I'm sure they ask everybody, but the national news was Andrew Judge was asked. He hasn't answered. He was pulling the Aaron Rodgers, hey, it's none of your business kind of thing. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. What Aaron Judge said is it'll all work out. I think that they probably had a inkling, expectation, hint, hint, nod, nod, wink, wink, that it would happen. I don't want to dive into this. It shouldn't be a political thing, but it is a political thing. I think it's ridiculous, but whatever. This is about putting New York City-based performance on a level playing field, Adams said Thursday. Day one I don't want to read a politician's crap. I'm just not going to. Suffice it to say, New York is actually closer to normal humans again. And if I'm annoying you with my stance, I don't care. It's time to move on, people. Love you. Respect as a human. Wear your mask in your car if you want, but are you freaking kidding me? Kyrie was sitting in the front row, maskless, in the front row of his home team's game. Not allowed to play. Stupid. So Aaron Judge and the Yankees, Lee Mazzilli and the Mets, see what I did there? Will be playing in all the homes games, as it should be. As a Yankees hater, I would have loved them to get screwed a little bit, but not really. Not really. Bobby Knight was the man. I was always a fan, but some people hated him. I like Deshaun as a quarterback and a person. He handled these lives like a champion, has already been an MVP candidate. Love the young man. I don't know much about him, honestly. I know his head coach in Clemson loved him. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know. I think and I know, Miguel, how you feel about it, because we've talked about this. I think that in today's day and age, or maybe better stated, a year ago and 2 years ago, and the Kavanaugh hearings time and all that, we were just assuming if you went potty standing up sometimes, you were guilty. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked into it that close. But I feel that innocent until proven guilty should be the standard. And if the NFL and MLB wants to punish people that aren't arrested, that aren't convicted, they're going to burn their leagues down. They're going to, at least the leadership is going to burn their leadership away. I think the NFL and the MLB are playing with fire. The Trevor Bauer thing, which I guarantee we'll talk about. There's not any news coming out that I've seen. I'll talk about it on the show before opening day. I guarantee it. I have a very strong opinion, and I'm sure I'll make people mad on it. But these guys aren't convicted. Deshaun Watson, Trevor Bauer. I don't understand why Major League Baseball would want to punish them. Better stated, how will the union allow it? They better freaking not. I think MLB and NFL with Deshaun Watson are playing to the Twitterati. And I feel like, you guys can let me know if I'm wrong, I feel like that has been proven stupid. Like there are still CEOs who dive out of the way to the Twitter mob. It's not real. It's bots. It's bots and people with purple hair screaming. Who cares? We got to stop this cancel culture stuff. And I thought forgiveness was a beautiful thing, and people learn and all those things. So I don't know. It's a little troubling. He got fined for going into the locker room. I mean, he's fine financially. I like Aaron Judge, and I hate the Yankees. I'm a fan of Aaron Judge too. I don't hate the Yankees, but I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm a Dodgers fan. They keep beating us in the World Series, so there's that. But I do like Aaron Judge. I do. I think Aaron Judge is going to get paid. Be interesting to see if he wants to stay or he wants to go. I bet he leaves. Well, we'll see. Chicago is still on lockdown. Yeah, they're the wrong. Yeah. Eric Adams actually called. I don't want to talk politics. Here it comes. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, called Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, for advice on this subject. Because they're doing things right up there. 2 grand juries looked at it and said no evidence. Exactly, Miguel. Exactly. The Bauer thing is strange. It is strange. There's enough evidence in the public record written about that should show that she was entrapping him. It's out there, but nobody talks about it. I thought about doing a big video where I get all the stuff. I mean, it's just, you could search it. It's not like you have to do research. It's out there on the internet, but nobody's talking about it. I think we're in a world that people are scared to take a stand and be called a racist or a sexist. I've never cared. How do I say this? I apologize in advance if this offends somebody, but it should only offend people who think they're idiots. And if you think you're an idiot, you probably are, because you're not. Okay. I've never cared what idiots thought about me. Now, easy for me to say. I'm not $1 million athlete who's on TV. I've never been on the cover of a magazine. Maybe it's just different. I don't know. But why I would care about what idiots thought, I don't know. You know, I'll give a quick story. I run a nonprofit, and sometimes when you're in I run a nonprofit that is in the paper sometimes locally. And we had an issue coming up, and the reporter was going to put, this is like 6 years ago. The reporter was going to put some news out there. We didn't do anything wrong, but she was going to put some news out there that made it look bad. And my wife was talking to a friend, but she reported it back to me. But my wife's friend said, what town, what newspaper? And it was this little tiny stupid newspaper in the small little county where my organization is. And my wife's friend at church said to her, what do we care about? Like, how many people could possibly read that? And it went, because yeah, it wasn't true, or it wasn't bad, right? The true part wasn't bad, but it was made to look bad. And she was just trying to win awards. She was out to get nonprofits and whatever. It is what it is. But who cares what crazy people think? And honestly, the article helped us. We got a bunch of really good people on our side after it. Now, again, I'm not Deshaun Watson, I'm not Trevor Bauer. I know it's different when you're in the public eye, but Trevor Bauer wants attention. He's got a YouTube channel. He's still posting on the YouTube channel. I like it. I think it's going to, my issue, my fear is Rob Manfred is an idiot. I almost said a word that I shouldn't say. And he and Trevor aren't buddies. And my other issue is idiots in chat. And then oh, hold on. And my other issue is Dave Roberts, who, again, you already know I'm a fan of, but I don't think he wants him back. So there's that. Bauer's a little weird because of the photos of the girl. I like Bauer, but some people will judge him for some pretty weird sexual. So yeah, he's into some stuff that I'm not into, but it's still entrapment. Manfred is a joke. Wolves don't lose sleep over the opinion. Oh, Nico for the win. Nico, we're friends again. And that's so good. I love that. Well, I should put that on screen. Wolves don't lose sheep over the opinion. I'm sorry. Wolves don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep, and lions don't dwell on the lies from the gazelles. Yeah. And Deshaun's a type A and Trevor's a type A. And I don't know them. I don't know. But, you know, for me, I know what I do. I know what's real in my life, and I don't care. You know, so when you do what I do, you hire people and you fire people and you train people and you, I guess, judge people would be the harshest way to say it. You review people, you advise people, you say, I need you to stop doing X and I need you to do more of Y. And it makes people mad, right? And when you're having fights with the mayor and the city council, there's going to be a whole group of people that are mad. And you just can't. The sheep are the sheep. It's like the trolls in chat, right? They don't matter. Like I'll watch a live stream and we'll get some trolls in there and people flip out, act like it's the end of the world. I had to hit a button. I hit 2 buttons in this case. I had to hit 2 buttons. They don't matter. They're nothing. They're a tree falling in the forest and there's nobody there to hear them. You know, the cancel culture stuff is dumb. Anyway, I think my time here is done. Urban Meyer was actually worse than we thought. I'm annoyed with his attitude. Don't like some of the quotes. He will never get another job in the NFL. I can't imagine him getting a job in college, but I bet he will actually. But it doesn't matter. He's already rich. He's filthy rich. He doesn't have to do anything else. I wouldn't put him on my team. I wouldn't let my kid play for him. I'll tell you that. Dave Roberts predicts the Dodgers will win the World Series. It's a little bit of a lead in. Dan Patrick asked him the Dodgers will win the World Series if, and he filled in the blank with, our starting pitching stays healthy, but it's still guaranteed to win. He did. He pushed it out there pretty good. A couple moves. Tommy Pham to Cincinnati. Blue Jays and the Rockies switch outfielders. I think that was everything. Oh, and then the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, and, well, Kyrie Irving get to play home games now. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to be doing the show more and more. 7 o'clock my time is my slot that I'm going to aim for. I've got some nights where that doesn't work. Monday through Thursday, sometimes Fridays. We'll see about the weekends. But Monday through Thursday, I'm going to try to do that as well as I can. On Thursday at 7 o'clock my time, that Central Time, we do NFL. I keep calling it NFL Watch Party. Inside the Huddle on Pete's show. We'll be coming over here afterwards. Once the baseball season gets here, 7 o'clock my time, Central Time, is when the local game, the Rangers or whatever, start. Usually it's post-dinner for me, and I'll be going probably an hour minimum, maybe even for the whole game. We'll be doing some Dodger-Ranger watch parties and just having fun. So if you're having any fun at all, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. If one person watched it live or one person watched it on the replay, I consider it an honor. I appreciate you guys being here. I love that we're building this community. I've been doing a lot of content that is not sports. I've been wanting to get in sports for a long time, and you guys are helping me do that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Members of the channel, thank you so much. Subscribers to the channel, thank you so much. Everybody in chat is a subscriber because I've got it on the thing. If you're not a subscriber, you can't chat, which never makes sense. How those trolls get in here? I guess they subscribe and then I boot them. I don't really understand how that works, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tomorrow's Friday. I think I'll be home tomorrow night. But I will be honest with you, we do have some family stuff going on tomorrow. I think I'm home in time for the show. If I am, we'll be live. If I'm not, we won't. If I don't see you before then, have a great weekend. Sunday night, Creator Talk Live. I do have Creator Talk Live is my show on Sunday nights. It's going to be a little earlier than usual. Watch for that change. 5 different things. YouTube has changed up for live streamers, specifically live streamers. So we're going to be talking about that on Sunday night. Watch for the time change. If I miss you all through that, we'll be back on Monday. Talking a little baseball, football, UFC, all this stuff. Last night we talked UFC. Conor McGregor got arrested. Anyway, Miguel, thank you. Nico, thank you. Everybody, thank you. Just everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Jeff Dope. That's the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Members of the channel. By the way, I might have mods coming back, but members will find out about that first. Thank you to all my members. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to shut up now. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle. Have a good time with the NCAA. Houston 9, Arizona 4, number 1. Another number 1 down, UNC versus UCLA later. I got UCLA going. So hopefully that'll be fun for UCLA. Tech up over Duke by 3. Duke's got the ball. 11 minutes left in the first. Duke for 3 to tie it up. Bam! Tie game anyway. Brewers spring training. Oh, Nico, I'm so jealous. So jealous. Tell Yelich I said hi. Who's the big Richie Sexton? Had an interesting conversation with Richie Sexton back in the day at, is that Maryvale? I think it's Maryvale. Oh, it's hot that day. But yeah, it was Richie Sexton. Yeah, anyway, it's a whole story. But he was a nice kid that day. He mashed for a while. Anyway, you don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle. I appreciate every single one of you. My name is Jeff Dope. That is this channel. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Nico, have a dog for me. Extra mustard.